Hey guys, this is Rise, and I'm joined by Cholera. That's right, me and Cholera are doing some more dual commentaries. Hope you guys are looking forward to these because we're doing some big sets back to the MSL Group A. If you've been watching along with us, which I hope you have been, because if you haven't, you're about to get some spoilers. Savior beat Bisu. That's right, Savior beat his arch nemesis, or one of the arch nemesi, Bisu, and now he is facing off against Zero, the winner of Zero versus Magma, the MSL Group A Set 2, which, unfortunately for us, wasn't the most exciting of games. But now that he's playing Savior, regardless, this is going to be an exciting game because Savior's in it. And it'll be amazing if Savior can get out of this group alive, and especially if he's the first one to leave the group. So, we're going to have to see what Zero is able to do against Savior, who isn't bad but against in ZVZ by any means. So I think we got a good game here. What do you think, Cholera?
Well, I think Savior needs to win this, because otherwise he's going to face Bisu, and Bisu is probably going to be pretty pissed off at this point that he lost Game 1. And obviously Bisu is going to destroy Magma in Game 4. I'm already going to call it, because Magma looked terrible last game. Like you said, he's a pajama warrior. And Bisu is going to send him back to the Eastro house where he can put on his pajamas and be Jaedong. Because evidently they say he is as good as Jaedong when he's in his pajamas in the Eastro house. I mean, go figure. But anyway, this is, I believe, Byzantium II here. We've got Savior at the upper right in white, and we've got Zero here in red at the lower right. Zero played a pretty good standard Zerg last game. I can't really say too much about what happened because nothing happened that game. It wasn't exciting. But, you know, we'll see. Savior has been doing decently. I won't say he's been doing great, but he's been doing decently. He's winning some, losing some against Zergs since coming back onto the A team. So, you know, we'll see what he does here, and hopefully he'll win, because otherwise, like I said, he's going to be facing Bisu again, and that's going to be scary and bad for the world, because that means one of them will have to leave. Think about that, you know. I don't, you know, honestly, Zero's a nice guy, but I really want Savior and Bisu to move on here.
I don't know, man. I was really rooting for Magma. You know, I was hoping he was going to pull something out and just upset everything, you know. I thought he was going to pull a Hyuk and just destroy his group, be the first to move out, but unfortunately, it was not to be. By the way, it looks like we're going to see a 9 pool from Savior, so a little bit variation on the standard play from last game anyway, and we'll have to see what Zero decides to go in response. So far, it looks like he's going an over something build, still a little early, so Savior...
Ooh, he's scouting diagonally, too.
That's, well, you know what? I've been seeing that more and more in ZVZs, and I think it's a pretty good idea because by sending it to the middle, you cover all of the spots. You have a better chance of getting a scout in on them quicker, because the other scout, you see what direction it comes from, right? So if he's on the left or the right, he sees where it comes from. Looks like we're going to see... hatch build from Zero against a 9 pool. So this is going to be, this could be very bad for Zero. And Savior, by the way, is scouting in the right direction. Zero is not going to scout him until later, until he sees that Overlord, which he sees now. That was, again, the point of that Overlord going into the middle there. And he's going to be getting up a spawning pool as quick as possible. But Lings are already out, or coming out for Savior. And he's going to have Speedlings on top of it all in the very near future. Oof. So Zero is going to have a tough time. He's probably going to have to put a spawning pool, a sunken colony down as soon as he can, as soon as he scouts what's going on, but I don't know if he's going to be quick enough, and Savior now getting his lair, so very aggressive play by Savior, but I gotta say, I like it.
Oh, definitely. I love it, too. This is what he needs to do to win here. I mean, you know, if he wins, it is a build order win, but, you know, it happens. Unless you're Jaedong, in which case Jaedong would win no matter what. But he's not Jaedong. Zero is not Jaedong. He's probably going to lose some drones here, very importantly. And it's going to be about how many drones he loses, because if he doesn't lose that many, Savior still is going to... Savior's going to be way behind if he doesn't lose any, actually. That is what happens when you don't lose any. And now, ooh, looks like one is about to go down here. Savior now rushing in here. Sunken Colony only about halfway done there. Lair going up, too. Zero has to be perfect here with his micro. Zero with the Sunken Colony out already. Will Savior go for the Sunken? No, he's going to go for the drones. One drone down. And no, Savior's forced to run. So that is not good for Savior at all. Okay, so he is going to have faster tech by about a minute. But on the other hand, he's going to be facing 2 hatch Lings very soon, and I just don't know how much of an advantage he's going to have. Well, he's not going to have an advantage. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get his mutas out in time to save himself.
Is he going to be his own savior? I don't know. Sorry, that was a really lame joke, but couldn't help it. It looks like Savior is going to back off all the way. He is way ahead with the Spire right now. I don't know how far ahead he'll be in the near future. And Zero, by the way, is going to be able to outproduce him like crazy with those Lings, as Savior is just now getting down that second hatchery. So Savior going to have to be very careful in trying to defend against the amount of Lings that Zero is going to be able to produce for quite a while. Because, I mean, really, those Spires take a while to pop out. So now the Spire going down for Zero, and I imagine that he's just going to keep producing Lings in the meantime until he's ready to just start saving larva up for his Muta. And in the meantime, though, Savior is more than halfway done. It looks like he's 3/4 or 2/3 of the way done with that Spire. So he's going to have a very good timing anyway for his Spire compared to Zero's. And that may be one of the things that can save him. And Savior with a concave at the base of his ramp, which is going to do a very good job of at least delaying any attack that Zero can put out on him. So what that's going to allow Savior to do is avoid the cost of a sunken colony for a little while anyway, unless he is broken, and then he's probably going to be forced to put one up. And basically, he's going to be able to get those Muta out before it can be broken. So Savior may be in a good position if he can get the Muta to the base of Zero quick enough and manage to really take out some drones and do some damage. And look at Zero inching up with those Lings, trying to attack the same Ling and do as much damage as he can. And the Spire is up for Savior, and Muta are coming out for sure, and it looks like he may be able to get there. It looks like Zero knows this, though, and is actually going to put down a Spore colony. And if that Spore goes up, he's going to be in a great position to deal with this. And Savior going after those Lings early on, I don't know if that's a good idea or if he should be going straight for the drones, but it looks like he's going to try to use all of his units for an attack here, which isn't a bad idea going up against a Sunken, but he's got to know that that Spore's there, and he's going to have a tough time breaking this defense with both Muta and Ling just because of those two Sunkens and Spores.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the fact is that Zero no longer has any economic advantage. He's had to put down 3 purely defensive structures, the Evil and the two defenses over there, so he is not ahead in drones at all at this point. And Savior, of course, has 2 hatches, so whatever advantage he had has been mitigated by the fact that Savior was more aggressive. Now, we're seeing Savior going in. He doesn't even have a speed yet for his Zerglings. He doesn't need it, though. He's been saving gas the entire time. He's going to go in for an attack on the drones. There's no drones on the... no Zerglings on the ground. Oh, looks like Savior goes in with some Scourge, too. I think he landed 1. I don't know how many drones he got killed in there. That got killed in there. I think at least 1 or 2 got killed in there from those Zerglings. But it didn't matter because Zero doesn't have any Lings to counterattack, and Savior is going to have the same number of Mutas. Actually, he's going to have more Mutas because he's been collecting gas a little bit longer. He's going to keep that Mutalisk account a little bit higher no matter what happens, unless he loses some, of course.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, man. It kind of seems even purely because of the fact that Savior doesn't have quite the amount of defense that Zero does. I mean, Zero really, that's some heavy defense to have in a base, and it looks like Savior is actually getting his natural expansion so he can get a second gas up, and if he can do that without Zero being able to do the same, he will be in great position. And sniping off a drone, very nicely done by Savior. We'll have to see if he's able to do some more of that. If he is a good micro and control, he may be able to do that, and he's got Lings out on the map. He's actually going to chase around a drone, stopping that drone from expanding, so he knows that Zero is going to be trying to get an expansion down somewhere, and it looks like Zero may actually be going for a distance hatchery somewhere else on the map. And Savior going to engage with some Scourge. One landing, taking out a Muta, the other one not landing yet. It looks like he's going to force him back all the way to his base and doing a little bit of damage there. In the meantime, he knows that there's a drone out on the field, and he may go after that, but it looks like Zero is going for a little bit of a counter on his own, and I don't know if he turned back. He must have turned back. So Savior actually seems to have a little bit of map control at this point, and maybe a little bit in the lead. Actually, I'd say definitely in the lead at this point.
Oh, he is definitely in the lead, and I'm surprised that Zero didn't commit to a harass there. He needs to do something. He can't just sit in his base and just hope Savior loses, just kills himself somehow. Although Savior used to do that all the time, but he can't just sit in his base right now because he is behind. He is getting expansion to the lower left, but Savior knows there was a drone going over there, so I do expect the Ling at some point to go exploring around the map and then maybe try to hunt it down. You know, we do have more defenses in this base, but Zero needs to go on the counter and try to pick off some drones of Savior's, and there we go. That's what I was saying. Savior with his slow Lings is still going to be able to scout though, and he's also bringing some Scourge there to probably help with scouting too. But right now, I'd say the Muta counts are about even. Savior has sniped more drones, and he is ahead in terms of drones, definitely. I saw him building a couple of drones, actually. So right now, I mean, Savior is in a very good position, and now he's discovered it. Those 2 Lings, not going to be able to kill it off. Well, whoa, more Lings coming out. That might actually be enough. And the thing is, Zero can't go and defend with all of his Mutas, because if he does, then Savior's Mutas are just going to kill his base. And he's going to defend anyway. Let's see what Savior does.
Oh, I think we're going to see a response from him, man. He's going to know that Zero's completely out of position. It looks like Savior is going in with those Muta. Zero hanging out on the left side of the base. He's completely out of position. This is going to be horrible for Zero. He's going to lose all his drones here. Savior is not going to bother with any of those units. Scourge, a lot of Scourge coming in, taking out both the Muta.
Oh,
and now
Spore
all
goes
those
down.
The Spore is down. The drones are going to go down, and Zero going for a counterattack in the meantime, straight to Savior's base, but he's going to be intercepted, it looks like, by Overlords to scout that, and the damage has already been done. Savior is going to back off. He knows that Zero is going to his base instead. He's going to be able to defend this, and this is probably going to be Savior's game for the taking.
Wow, I love that. I mean, this is why he was called the Maestro, because he would be able to control, like a ventriloquist. He'd be able to control what his opponent did. I mean, his opponent's basically the dummy, and he's the one pulling the strings here. And there's GG coming from Zero. So Savior pulls the strings in one direction, and we saw Zero going to the lower left, and that is when Savior came up with the right hook, and Savior advances into the round of 16 of the Lost Saga MSL. Savior beginning possibly to destroy everyone in 2009. And he is 2-0 in this group. He's done. He is out.
Yeah, man, very impressive play. I don't know if he's a ventriloquist, more likely a puppet master. And Zero being the marionette doll, of course. So it looks like Savior is living up to that name, the Maestro. We'll have to see if he can do it in the next round. But I gotta say, very exciting stuff. I am not the biggest Savior fan, but I am proud to see him move on. And I gotta say, I expect big things from him, especially for what he said on the World Cyber Games. Yeah, well, I think I would too if I had just gone through as much crap as he has in the past year or two, and beating his he's beating Bisu of all people, the person that dethroned him, and now moving on to the next round, where right now it is not known if Bisu is going to do the same. So you know what? Let's just get right to it. Let's go do Bisu versus Magma and see who goes on to face Zero in the final set and move on.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Zero is gonna be facing. Zero is gonna be facing most likely. Wait, what am I saying? Zero is gonna be facing Bisu most likely in the final game. So yeah, let's move on.
종결된 바로 그 자리에 다시 한번 또 마재윤이라는 이름 석자가 16강에 가장 먼저 올라가는 또 인상적인 모습을 보게 되네요. 한 680일 정도 지났을 겁니다. 자신이 전복된 지 말이죠. 그런 680일 이후에 다시 자신을 전복시켰던 상대를 뚫어내리고 그 다음에 16강에 가장 먼저 올라가는 성과를 내기까지 고생도 많았을 테니까 이번에는 우승을 직접적으로 바라볼 수 있는 이런 그 실력을 선보여야겠죠. 자, 이 김태경 선수가 지금 오늘 마재윤 선수에 당한 엘리전의 복수를 하기 위해서는 8강 이상 가야 됩니다. 자, 잠시 후에는 그렇게 살아봐야 되는데 생존을 위한 한판 승부, 바로 그 박문기 선수와 그 조직의 설정을 보였던 김태경 선수가 경기를 펼치게 되겠습니다.